Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. You can support this channel through the PayPal Subscribe Star links below, and any and all donations are helpful. Nothing is too big or too small. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, Justin Vacula. If you don't want the credit card companies to drain your bank account like Count Dracula, then you need Justin Vacula. He's got the best deals on credit cards like this Chase Ink Preferred Business Card, where if you spend $8,000 in the first 3 months, you get $1,000 cash back, or $1,250 towards travel rewards when you redeem through Chase Ultimate Rewards. That's 12.5% cash back, or 15.6% value that you can use toward your trips. It's the card on the far right side. He also has a podcast to help you save money in other ways. Sponsor links are down below. Now on with the memes. Number 1, we have the latest episode of Family Feud, and they ask the players to name something you only find in a white person's home. The white woman says a dad, and then you see this dopey look on Steve Harvey, which he always does whenever he's shocked. I guess if you ask racist questions, you get racist answers. Another answer, as someone posted, was working smoke detectors and batteries in them. Is that true or not? Moving on, we have an American woman that always fantasized about living in Japan. She got there, and after 3 years, she was ready to move back. She probably couldn't find any men that wanted to date her for more than just a fetish for one night, or even let themselves get put in the friend zone. Many Asian cultures don't like each other, let alone foreign ladies with dark complexions. She probably also didn't like it because there's no affirmative action programs, and you actually have to do work. Number 3, I asked the question, would you? David says no because he doesn't like waiting in lines. I would be first in line, but first I need to see what she looks like when she's not cross-eyed. Plus, she looks expensive. I love the fact that she doesn't have any tattoos, but those piercings are definitely a red flag. Actually, she's trans, so that definitely wouldn't work. I'm only kidding. I don't know if she is, but those shoulders look wider than her hips, so that might actually be a good hint. Up next is a step dummy that took on a role that wasn't even his. This woman is thanking him for being the father figure her son needs. If you're wondering what makes this cuck so happy, it's probably because this woman is the hottest woman he could ever get, regardless of if he's actually with her or not. I think he's been friend-zoned by a single mother. Also, look who's leaning in. He probably got blindsided by all those boobs. Number 5, we've got a guy that's ready to bang some babe, but then he realizes that she's a single mom from the picture of Ray Ray's brood in the bedroom, so he decides to hightail it out of there. The real question is, why does this woman have so many whistles? It could be a reference to what tea kettles do when the coal is burnt. I bet the next guy won't be seeing that picture. Moving on is a man named Sonny that received a heart transplant from a guy that ended himself. Not only that, but he married the donor's wife and later also ended himself in the exact same way as the donor. It sounds like a real-life X-File, but it's probably the wife that led both of them to end their meat suits. It makes me wonder what it is about this woman that made these men want to end themselves. Up next is what happens when really ugly women use filters. They end up looking faker than AI-generated females. At least her eyes are beautiful. That's something, I suppose. With makeup, she would definitely look a lot better. But it looks like she's just too damn ugly for the filters to work. She can't get away with doing what this one pretty much did. I don't even think beer goggles on a man would help in either case. Number 8, it looks as though OnlyFans is having their own runway fashion show in NYC now. Many of the women in the fashion show were post-wall like this one, so they might as well be called Only Walls. If you do go to this event, the only thing that'll help you see again is only bleach. Number 9 is a shirt line that was introduced by Pearl Davis, where she says that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. In the past, it was only male landowners that were allowed to do so. I say it should only be net taxpayers, the retired, or maybe even veterans, because they're the ones that actually have skin in the game. You could also covertly wear this shirt if it said something like, "End women's suffrage." They would probably think that you meant an end to women's suffering. Moving on, we have a strong independent woman that doesn't need a man to put oil in her car. She's going to lube that engine up with Crisco. Remember, ladies, always use olive oil. If she used used oil, it'll probably make the exhaust smell like fried chicken. If this is real, then she's unlocked a new special kind of stupid. Number 11, we have a woman back in the anniversary of 9/11, making the price of her OnlyFans page only $9.11 for the rest of the day to honor the victims. Instead of a plane flying into one of the Twin Towers, in this case it's flying between her twin tiddlings. I guess this is what female oppression looks like these days. What a way to remember the day, and she's using tragedy to sell corn. Up next is Based Ken being told that sex work is real work, and he responds by saying that you should put that on your resume. That's a good point because if it was considered real hard work, no pun intended, then it would be promoted, but it's not. Number 13 is an oldie. Nora Vincent pretended to be a man and was passable for a number of years, and then she ended herself relatively recently in Switzerland, after she realized how difficult it was to be a man. In reality, she ended herself because she had terminal cancer. If I was dying from that, I would cryonically freeze my body or head after ending myself. It makes me wonder if living as a man made her suffer. Moving on is the look on their face when a modern woman tells you that she's only done the deed with 4 guys. 4 guys at the same time is probably what she really meant. Or when she says slept, maybe she means the other 36 guys she did it with were standing up. Women always choose their words carefully so they have a double meaning, and they can tell you the truth but a lie at the same time when it comes to their notch counts. Maybe it's really 400. Number 15 is a sugar baby mentioning that she's made $500,000 traveling the world with her wealthier older clients. She looks average and can easily make a couple $1,000,000 in her lifetime doing that. And other women are also reading stories like this and starting to emulate them. The sugar baby is already drooping. She's probably had way too much sugar. But how many men, she probably won't say, because women like this like to keep their notch counts private. Up next is a male to female individual presumably transitioning and then being left by his wife and kids while at work one day. Maybe the wife didn't want to sleep next to another woman. Even when men transition into women, they pretty much use part of the playbook that women use, which is to play the part of the victim. Even the guy's father was in on the situation, probably because he still wanted to be able to see his grandkids in the future. Number 17, we have a woman claiming that when she charged men to put their schwing-schwangs into her, she had to let them in without her permission. But she chose that line of work, collected the cash and prizes, and now claims that she was the victim. She probably thought she was supposed to get all of those things because of her personality alone. And people wonder why MGTOW and passport bros are a thing these days. Moving on, maybe this meme illustrates perfectly how she feels after willingly having her poop chute violated. The slot B was never designed for that going in anyway. As far as I'm concerned, the back door should always be closed. The only reason she probably did that was because she pretended that her jaw was cramped up that day. But it doesn't matter, because in the end they always complain, even if they enjoy it during the process. Number 19, we have Confused Cat complaining that she's in the top 37% of creators on OnlyFans, and yet only made $100 for the month. She says to do whatever you want with this information. What she really wants is your sympathy so she can pretty much get you to donate $simp to her. The only real winner of OnlyFans is a CEO himself paying himself $1 million bonus each day. But just wait until that AI takes her $100. Tinder is the false promise to men to find love. And OnlyFans is a false promise to women that they can make tons of free money. Number 20 is Samantha, a living meme. She was arrested after removing her robes and assaulting her boyfriend because he didn't want to give her the old in-outs. She was described as naked and belligerent by police on the scene. But who wouldn't have pounded this god thought? I bet her boyfriend was the first guy in her life to tell her no. What I'm really amazed by is that the guy wasn't arrested for something. Maybe he just didn't want to stick it in crazy no more. Number 22, what the hell happened to Kate Moss? Seems like the drugs have finally had an effect. Looks like she hit the wall at light speed. I'd say holy smokes, but in this case it's unholy smoke that actually did this to her. She's probably also a vegan and cigarettes are her precious. Her best before date though was January 1st, 2001. How did the photographers even recognize her? She's almost 50, but looks 70. Moving on is an NPC saying that women don't owe men sex. Then a man says that men don't owe women their time, attention, help, or resources either. Of course we don't, but that doesn't stop the government from taking our resources through taxation and giving it to thoughts. Remember guys, a woman is not worth your meat, money, energy, attention, and time. Number 23 is Chris Evans, age 42. Being shamed for marrying a 26-year-old woman, and some simp is shaming him by saying that he would never get in a relationship with someone that could actually be his daughter's age. He says that rocking the cradle should be illegal, but he'd probably say that it's okay for Madonna in her 60s to be with a man in his 20s. Evans at least wants a fertile woman to give him healthy children. My dad was 14 years older than my mother, so we should pretty much call him a criminal too. Up next, I wish someone had shown me this in my early 20s. And it actually had it sink in my brain. It's the biggest hole you can fall into And most of the time, you don't even know it's there until after the fact. So it looks like purchasing a lover doll may actually be an investment that will help you achieve your dreams. Either that or $250 a night could solve this problem if you know your limits. Number 25 and the last one is Virginia Democrat Susanna Gibson, running for the House of Delegates, and being criticized after someone found videos of her performing banging acts with her husband for tips. Now there's a candidate that everyone can get behind for just 20 bucks. If anything, this will probably just make her even more popular. I hope she gets more than the tip, if you know what I mean. It was also her husband after all, so what's wrong with this? So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Give this video a thumbs up to help it reach more viewers in the algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, I make these for free, so donate at the PayPal and Subscribestar links below for more content like this. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.